Hi guys. I got something to tell you. Uh, like I just can't. I really just can't. I'm just sad now. For you who don't know, it is now chill blasters are considered real firearms in oh my gosh, I keep saying in Australia. This is just so sad. I can't even. I really can't even. I wrote 2.5 pages down of notes because I was watching that and I just thought of how stupid, absolutely stupid it is. Like, I just can't believe it. I can't believe it. I just can't. Sorry if you couldn't hear me though. I just can't believe it. Sorry about that. They banned toys in Australia. Here, let me shake my book at you. It's stupid. It's immature. And how the head of the police there did all the talking. And I got some funny stuff to tell you. I got some funny ass stuff. Let me scoot my chair back. Here we go. Let me cool down with some Rocket League. Okay. Number 1. They're now declared a real firearm. And if any of you, live in Australia, I feel bad for you because your governments, are basically acting like pieces of I can't say that. Ooh. But they're acting like they're stupid. Well, they kinda are. Oh, what do you want to ban today? Oh, I don't know. How about that thing that people replaced with airsoft? Because airsoft is bad because it leaves bruises and welts. Well, first of all, yes it does. Second of all, that's usually without protection. And trust me, 90% of people use protection. Like, I don't know, let's think about that one. Well, who doesn't wear protection? What type of protection do we have? How about that? Vests, clothes, because you get hit with that, you just kind of get a red spot or a bruise, and they're only, that big. Oh, so this is what they call them. This is what he called it. I was pretty confused. He was declared a regulation imitation firearm. I don't even know what that means, but okay. So it looks like a real firearm, yeah. Only that because they don't have an orange tip. And now, you see, that's pretty scary for me. Because there's been, what is it? I got it on the next page, hold up. 180, problems. 180. No, not 1,000, not million, just 180. And if anybody knows, 180 crimes isn't a lot. And how, where are we now? Looking at toy guns as firearms. This is stupid. Oh, you must have a license, and the gun must be registered. So you're basically treating it like a real firearm too. You need to get registered. You have to have a proper license. I don't know about. I did. I think it was like you needed a Class A license for certain types of guns. So yeah, it does matter. It's like real guns. How different types of guns require different licenses. So that's happening again now. What other that? Oh, it must follow proper firearm security codes. So basically, you have to have a gun lock on it. A gun lock on a toy gun that shoots pieces of gel. What's next? Oh, so there is amnesty. So they are being kinda good with it. There's amnesty how if you don't, you can either register the firearm or give it up to the police, within a certain amount of the time period. He didn't really state what time period it was, so I didn't really know. So that was a pretty fun video. I confused my notes again. Hold up. Oh yeah, I was reading the amnesty thing. It can only be used in paintball or what is it? Paintball or gel blaster faculties or areas. Not really faculties. But like, and only if it's registered too. So if it ain't a paintball field, you can't even shoot it in your backyard. That's like, even if you have your own private shooting area, you can't have it. So as you can tell, I'm getting pretty pissed here. So, and the thing is that, oh, you're like, oh, why doesn't paintball have these restrictions? Well, they do. They have the same restrictions as paintball because I guess they decided that paintball is bad too. And remember, there is no airsoft here. There's no such thing as airsoft in this community. It was banned many years ago. So imagine that. Imagine having no paintball, your toy guns treated like real guns. I'm just getting sad now. It's just like, this is what our community, this is what Australia's come to. Oh, what should we ban today? Yeah, it's like just sad. It's like they're giving paintball the title of a real gun, and gel blasters. So what else they got? Oh, so he said that that guns work like they work like real guns. So I'm kind of confused now because I know how to. I even fact checked myself before this. I know how a gun works. What it is there's a firing pin in the gun, and what that does is that sets off a charge, and then that charge pretty much blows up the gunpowder inside. So and how he said that he calls those things firearms. He said one of his reasons was because of that. because of how he found that um that since they're both powered with air, that they're considered firearms. Well, first of all, firearms aren't necessarily powered by air like paintball, airsoft, and gel blasters are. What it is so for paintball, gel blasters, and airsoft, you literally have for some guns, like for all the electric guns, it's they're all of them use all the electric ones, and only the electric ones, they use a plunger, and what that plunger does is it's basically a piston, and it pulls the air back to a higher amount, and then and then what it does is when you pull the trigger, well, what happens is so the motor pulls the plunger back, then when you pull the trigger, it releases the plunger in the piston, and then what it does is it shoots the BB out. There you go. That's how. But with a firearm, you're using explosives, and they're continuing to call it a firearm. This guy, I don't know why, but he kept pointing out how they were made of steel and like polymer, like guns are, and I'm like, yeah, because we're using this stuff in areas that are very rocky, very things that will damage basically any cheap plastic object. When you go outside, would you rather bring a plastic shovel or a metal shovel? And if you say plastic shovel, I'm kind of concerned. So, yeah, and then the next one is they look like a firearm. Okay. This is just sad. Because one of the things that I think is good about America is that we have an orange tip on our guns, on our toy guns. Sorry, Nerf gun. The reason why they have Nerf guns that they're usually orange and blue, or they have an orange tip on them, is for that. Any projectile, anything that looks like a gun or projects something like a gun. Well, in a generality, I haven't really studied that part. You still need I had this little toy gun that was black and had an orange trigger and an orange top. You still have to do that, even though it doesn't shoot anything. But what it is people are making it sound like these guns are like the scum of humanity. What are these things doing that are so bad? It's like, oh, people are robbing the stores with them, which is an actual thing. Well, why aren't you doing anything about it? It's kind of confusing, because if you had an orange tip like they do in America, as soon as the orange tip is shown, they're like, oh, it's a fake gun. And now, one of the sad things that there's a case in April about how this 10-year-old girl was shot in the head by a gel blaster, and how it's like, that's incredibly sad. It's like, these people are just like horrible. Why would you shoot somebody with a gel blaster? And they were in a car too, they were driving by. That's just stupid. Every way. So, there you go. That's part of it. And then, and he says people could get killed. I'm confused here, because what in your right mind think people are getting killed? It's like, really, what in your right mind? Because I haven't seen once that somebody got that somebody's been killed by an airsoft gun. honestly. And airsoft is more dangerous, as they say, than gel blasters. I'm just going nuts. Oh, I'm sorry if I'm getting real mad, and you're kind of annoyed because I'm pissed at this, but I I have like an OCD for when people say stuff wrong in science and in guns, because I'm a big science nerd, and I just hate it when people say something wrong. Like when people say, since the water sinks, the water's heavier, or the oil. Forgot which one it was. I haven't done the experiment in a while. I absolutely hate it because no, it isn't heavier. It's denser. It gives me like an OCD feeling. Next, down to the next page. He called part of that was he called him a lethal firearm. I'm quoting him on that. Lethal firearm. What in your right mind do you call a toy gun a firearm? A lethal firearm too. So, oh, and he said like people would wonder if it was a real firearm or not. Well, that's why you put an orange tip. In America, it's a huge crime to take an orange tip off a toy gun. It's like unheard of. It's like nobody's gonna go through is gonna waste their time on people to take off their orange tip. It's like sad and depressing that they actually think that other countries don't have it, especially because of this. It's like all they're doing is making more problems. Put an orange tip, I don't think that they would care. It's like honestly, I don't think that people would care if you put an orange tip, 'cause it doesn't seem like a bad thing to do. What oh no, what am I gonna do with my orange tip? Well, all they could say is orange tip or no more guns, no more toys at all. Well then, people would be like, oh yeah, the orange tip's amazing. And your crime rate would go down because people wouldn't be getting worried about if it was a real gun or not. And then if like the police see the orange tip while they're getting pointed at them, they're gonna be like, oh, this guy doesn't have a real gun. Pull out a taser and tase the guy, so that he doesn't have to get shot because they think it's a real rifle. Oh, so this is the good part. This is the part where that gives me the most OCD. And like I said before, I get like an OCD, like I'm jittering right now. He said the voltage of the battery gives the gun more power. What in your right mind do you believe that? Who told you this? Not a real airsofter person who shoots a BB gun, or not really BB gun because they don't use electric batteries. Gel blaster or a paintballer. Well, a lot of paintball guns don't do it either. But who did you talk to? This doesn't seem like you just came up with it. Voltage doesn't matter. Well, it does, but it can destroy the gun. It's like it's like they don't know what they're talking about. Stop saying you know what you're doing if you've never like done it before or you don't know anything about it. They're like Karens. They're looking at this one Facebook message saying vaccines cause autism, and you're like, no, they don't. There's no proof. There's no proof that the voltage does anything different. Okay, different guns can have different voltages, and maybe, I don't know, I haven't gone that much into airsoft to know that the guns that require a higher voltage shoot harder. I didn't know that. I don't know if that's even a real thing, but here's the next one. The better the plunger, the higher the more compressed the gun will be. No. Unless your plunger leaks in your piston that compresses the air, I don't think so. I don't think that a better plunger is gonna make your gun shoot harder. Unless your plunger is leaking, which it shouldn't, and if it is, you should really replace it. There's no difference between what your plunger does, because what are you gonna do? Oh, I'm gonna make my plunger stickier to make it so that it'll hold air better. It already holds air. It can't compress anymore. Oh, this is my favorite. So many of you who don't know what hop-up is, hop-up is the action of, it's a mechanical piece, and it's crazy cool for me because it's one of the cool pieces of engineering. And what it is it's a machine towards the end of the gun, no, the front of it, so that sometimes it could be at the end of the barrel or like right before the barrel. And what it does is it spins the BB backwards to make the BB go up. You ready? So it spins back. Wait a second. So that the BB goes up. And so what that does is that makes it so that you can shoot it farther, because when you shoot it up, it'll go up and then it'll come back down. There you go. That's what a hop-up is. He claims that hop-up spin the BB, and to make it more accurate and more powerful. First of all, it doesn't make it more powerful. He's thinking of rifling. Rifling is when a gun is in a gun, when they'll have not really cracks, but they'll have like indented air pieces that what it'll do is it'll make the air around the bullet in a real gun spin around, so that, and then what would happen is that and it would make the bullet spin. And what that bullet does is that bullet, it makes the gun more accurate. And it's basically found in a lot of hunting rifles, and I found mine in Nerf guns because Nerf gun since they use such low velocity like bullets, and how they don't have a cone shaped tip. They don't really they aren't accurate because they have much more air resistance, and they just kind of want it to spin to make it go a little more accurate, because what's a little more accurate for a Nerf gun? Now you ready? So what he's saying is it spins it like rifling, so that he makes it more accurate. No, it makes the bullet spin backwards so that the BB will go up and then down. Okay? You can look in airsoft videos and you'll see people shooting around corners with their hop-up. I've done it. It's super cool. But when somebody tells me that it makes the gun more accurate, I just get mad, because if your barrel's off a little bit, it keeps shooting farther away, which making it less accurate. So those were my 3 rants. Oh yeah, and he said you could get harder gel balls. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. So what's so wrong about that? I'm confused. And I'm confused if that's even correct either, because I haven't heard of harder gel balls. That makes no sense. Oh, this is another cool part. He said since gel blasters are sold with goggles, they're dangerous. You're like, yeah. But so is Nerf guns. So are Nerf guns. When I was watching the video of him talking, one of the live comments from when it was actually live, I was watching a replay of it. One of the comments was like, "So are Nerf guns," and you're like, "Oh wow, What are we gonna do now? Ban Nerf guns because they're considered dangerous? Oh, wait a second. I have a page for that. Not a page. I have word that for that. Where is it? Oh, Nerf Rivals. You know those ones that shoot like the foam balls? They've got like the P90, they've got a P90. That's the only one I can really think of. But they shoot like these like yellow balls that are like a harder foam, and how those were banned in Australia. Banned, like banned. You can't buy them. You can't trade them. You can't have them. Not like you need a registration. They're illegal. Illegal. Nerf guns. This is just depressing. So, and then, you ready? So since he's doing this overnight, this wasn't something like, oh yeah, hey, in a month we're gonna start, in like 2 months we're gonna ban these guns. No, in a few days they say this. And now they say overnight, these guns will be illegal. Well, you're basically putting people out of their jobs. Just think of this: people have jobs that include the selling of gel blasters. So you're not just taking a toy away; you're taking jobs away. Just because of a toy that these people probably got hurt with. It's like, all I could think about, these people getting shot by a gel blaster once when they were a kid, and they're like, oh, it's dangerous because it left a welt. Well, where did it hit you? Because, trust me, a lot of the times, it will leave a welt because you don't have clothes on. And most of the time, people have vests and helmets and goggles on, and masks on, and scarves on, and ear protection. So, oh, and boots on, sorry. So what it is so you're basically like, oh, these leave welts. Yeah. But they only do it when you're not wearing the protection that can be supplied very easily. I have a plate carrier that was made for airsoft. Sorry, it was made for airsoft, and how I've seen a bunch of videos like on YouTube. They're saying, hey, what you got to do is you got to put cardboard in your plate carriers to make it so that it hurts less. So you're like, okay, yeah, that makes sense. Anyone who shot cardboard with an airsoft gun, yeah, you put it. They don't, and a lot of them they'll go through or get stuck in one sheet of cardboard. They're talking about like 3 or 4. Oh, 2 or 3, sorry. And then you've got fabric in between. So I'm thinking that they're kind of overreacting with this whole thing. So leave a comment in the comment section what you believe, what your opinions are on this, and if you agree with mine. I think this is stupid. They should legalize airsoft, legalize paintball, and legalize gelsoft. But the thing is have orange tips and no crazy regulations. People commit a crime with them. You fine the person or put them in jail, whatever you want to do. But don't be that guy. Don't be that guy who's like, don't be that teacher, really, who's like, oh, these are bad. What am I gonna do? So, when somebody takes something away, and it goes viral, like what they did, people like me get to write notes on them and then share it with you guys. Which is definitely my favorite. So, please guys, like and subscribe. Leave a comment if you want to say anything, because this is stupid to me. I want to know if it's stupid to you. if you've got any ideas for the future videos, or if you want me to do something like a live playing Rocket League or something, yeah, I'll definitely do it. So, yeah, I'll see you in a future video. Please like and subscribe, and yeah, see you in the future video, like I said 100 times. Bye.